Before the ships came, before the treaties, before the chains, there was a boy, born in a quiet village deep within the green folds of southern Nigeria. He was nameless to history, but destined to shape it. Torn from his homeland as a child, sold as property, and stripped of everything, he should have disappeared into silence, like so many others, but he didn't. From the ashes of captivity, he rose, not just as a man, but as a king, a merchant prince, a ruler who dared to challenge an empire. His name became thunder on the river of Opobo. This is not just the story of a man. It is the story of resilience carved into history, of power born from chains, and of a people who never forgot. This is the story of a boy who became a king and how the world betrayed him. Before we continue, if you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell for more historical stories like this. Thank you. Back to the story. The story of King Jaja of Opobo, the rise of Jaja, a king from chains. The wind wrestled through the trees of Umoji, a quiet village nestled in southern Nigeria, as birds chirped their early songs. But inside one hut, there was silence and mourning. A boy no older than 12 stood barefoot, watching his mother sob. He didn't fully understand, but he could feel it. His life was about to change forever. The men came quickly, slavers from distant land. They bargained with local raiders, and like a sack of yam, the boy was handed over. His name was Jubongba, a child of the Igbo people, born free, was now a slave. Dragged from the forested heart of Igbo land, he was shipped to the coastal kingdom of Bonny. It was the mid-18th century, and although the Atlantic slave trade was crumbling under British pressure, the shadows of that business still lingered. Bonny was transforming. Its wealth now came not from human cargo, but from the palm oil, the golden liquid, powering Europe's factories and soap. In Bonny, Jubo was sold to a powerful merchant chief of the Ana people house, a prestigious trading lineage, unlike the cruelty found in some other form of slavery. Jubo became what was known as a house slave, given the chance to learn trade. His master noticed quickly this boy was brilliant. He learned to speak not only the local languages, but Pidgin English, and even a bit of the Queen's own tongue. He calculated sums with ease, memorized routes, and watched the dealings between chiefs and white men with keen eyes. Over the years, his ambition grew. He worked, traded, and earned his freedom. By the time he was in his 30s, Jubo was no longer a slave. He was now called Jaja, a title of respect and transformation. More than that, he had risen to lead the very house that once owned him, the Ana people house. But power came with enemies. Bonny political structure was complex, divided between the Ana people and Manila people's houses. For years, the two factions had fought for supremacy, both economically and politically. The trade war turned bloody. Civil war broke out in 1869, plunging Bonny into violence. Jaja, ever the strategist, made a bold decision. He gathered his followers and declared, "Why must we spill more blood to prove our worth? Let us build a new future, a new kingdom, one that is ours, free from internal strifes and foreign greed." That same year, with his allies, he founded the Kingdom of Opobo, further down the Niger Delta near the Imo River. From the marshes and mangrove swamps. A new city-state rose under Jaja's leadership. His people began to build, trade, and govern, and it worked brilliantly. Within 5 years, Opobo controlled over 14 of the 18 major palm oil markets in the interior. Jaja built docks, houses, roads. European merchants were eager to trade, but Jaja was clear. You will not bypass us. You trade with Opobo, through Opobo, not with the interland. We are not fools to be used. This infuriated British merchants and their Royal Niger Company backers. They wanted free access to the market inland, bypassing African middlemen, but Jaja stood firm. He banned direct trading between Europeans and the interior tribes, protecting both Opobo's economy and African dignity. Jaja wore British suit during meetings, but his heart remained with his people. He established his own customs duties, negotiated international deals, and even sent ambassadors abroad. His kingdom was a modern African success story, built not on war, but on wisdom, diplomacy, and economic self-determination. But the British Empire was not known for tolerating obstacles. Behind closed doors, plans were drawn, reports were sent to London, painting Jaja as a tyrant obstructing free trade. They called him unreasonable, uncooperative, dangerous. In 1887, British Consul Harry Johnston arrived in Opobo, bearing gifts and one smile. He invited Jaja, aboarded a British ship, claiming Queen Victoria wished to open a new chapter of friendship. Jaja, though cautious, believed in diplomacy. His advisors warned him, but the king replied, I will meet them as a king, not as a coward. If they come in peace, I shall welcome them. He aboarded the ship in full regalia, head high, robes flowing, the proud king of a proud people. But he never returned. Once aboard, Jaja was seized, arrested, and shipped into exile. First to Accra, then to the West Indies, St. Vincent, and Barbados. His people were shocked. The Niger Delta cried out, but the British moved quickly, sending agents to take over Opobo's trade routes. Even in exile, Jaja didn't rest. He wrote letters to the British government. He appealed to Queen Victoria herself. Public outcry grew in London. Many began to question how a peaceful and respected African king could be treated so unjustly. After years of advocacy, the queen relented. In 1891, Jaja was granted permission to return home. But fate, bitter and unkind, had one final betrayal. Jaja died on the journey back to Nigeria. Some say it was disease. Others whispered that he was poisoned. A final act to prevent his return. Regardless, the great king who had risen from the chain of slavery to the throne of Opobo never set foot on his land again. In Opobo, when news arrived, the people fell into mourning. The drums beat louder than ever before. Women wailed, men stood silent. Children asked, will our king return? But kings like Jaja never truly die. Legacy of a lion. Today, the city of Opobo stands as a monument to what Africans could build when given the freedom to dream. Streets still echo his name, statues bear his image, and Nigerian history reveres him not just as a king, but as a symbol of strength, resistance, and vision. He is remembered not as a man who bowed to colonial powers, but as a man who stood, ruled, and resisted. A king who built a kingdom from the swamps. A boy who once wore chains but died wearing a crown. Final words. King Jaja of Opobo reminds us of what leadership looks like when rooted in purpose. He was not born into power, he earned it. He did not serve foreign interests, he protected his people's wealth, and even in exile, he never broke. His story isn't just Nigerian history, it's African history, world history, the story of what it means to rise, to rule justly, and to fight with dignity, even when the odds are against you. And so, in every corner of the Niger Delta, where palm trees sway and rivers sing, you can still hear a whisper of his name, Jaja, the king who rose from chains.